This is Langogo's newest, most powerful translator, the Summit Pro. It has 4 microphones, a touchscreen, and can translate over 100 languages. It also has a built-in camera for text translation, but it costs $400. At that price, you should really know what you're getting. So we're going to put it to the test and see what it can do. This is our review of the Langogo Summit Pro. So if you've been watching our channel for a long time, you know that we're fans of Langogo's translators. Some of my favorite videos that we've made have been reviews of their devices. Now, a couple years ago, we did a review of the Langogo Genesis, and we compared it to a human translator. This time we've got the Langogo Summit, and instead of just refilming that video, we decided to do something different. We're going to take the Summit and compare it to Google Translate. Now, I know what you're thinking. It might be a bit unfair to compare a $400 translator against a free app, but I think the results might surprise you. So let's start by doing some short translations. This is basically how you would use the device if you were traveling abroad. Now, I speak English and Mandarin, and those are 2 languages I know the most about. But I've also asked some of my friends from different countries to send me audio clips of them speaking their language. So let's see how these 2 devices compare.
Привет, Адам, как твои дела? С Новым годом и Рождеством.
So that first one was Russian, and it's a pretty short phrase. I didn't see any difference between Google Translate or Langogo. They were both fast and accurate.
In Nederland eten we hagelslag op brood. En het is super lekker.
So that last one was Dutch. And so again, they were about the same speeds, but the translations did differ a bit. Google says chocolate sprinkles, whereas Langogo just says sprinkles. Now I think that word does directly just translate to sprinkles, but Google knows that this word in this context commonly refers to chocolate sprinkles. So they do give you that little bit of extra information.
På fredagskveld spiser alle i Norge taco. Vi kaller det fredagstaco.
So that one was Norwegian, and Google Translate was slightly faster and more accurate. As you can see, Langogo does have a bit of a grammar error in their translation. So for this next one, I'm going to speak Chinese, and as you can probably guess, Chinese is not my first language. So this will test both translators' ability to recognize non-native accents.
虽然我的中文不是100%完美，但是咱们看看这2个翻译器能不能识别我说的话，并把它翻译成英文。
Okay, so Langogo was just a hair faster, but both translations were 100% correct. Now this is great because it gives us confidence that these 2 services can handle different accents.
我係一個攝影師，我鍾意影相係因為我想將呢個世界美好嘅一刻記錄低，永久咁保存落嚟。
So that one was Cantonese, and Langogo did a pretty good job. The meaning is close, but it did fail to recognize a few words at the end of the sentence. As for Google Translate, well, unfortunately Google Translate doesn't support Cantonese translations. This brings up a good point that both translators don't have the same selection of languages. Google Translate has 108 languages, and Langogo says they have 104 languages, but I think this number is inflated. In Langogo's language list, they count American English, British English, and Canadian English, as well as 10 different variants of English as different unique languages. They also do the same thing for 20 variants of Spanish. I think this is stretching the definition of languages just a bit. I think a better way to look at language selection is to see what languages one service offers that the other doesn't. I found that Langogo offers 2 languages that Google Translate doesn't, whereas Google Translate offers 56 languages that Langogo doesn't. So for short translations, I think Langogo and Google basically perform the same. If you look at the translations and the speech recognitions, there didn't seem to be much of a reason to use one device over the other, except of course that one is $400 and the other one is free. So next, let's try something different. Langogo has been marketing the Summit Pro as a business translator, capable of doing translations and transcriptions in a professional context, like a meeting or a conference. So I pulled up a clip of Tim Cook speaking at a recent Apple event. Let's see how both devices transcribe what he's saying.
We've always believed that by giving people wonderful tools, you enable them to do wonderful things. At Apple, we put the customer at the center of everything that we do, with products and technologies that are designed in the service of humanity. Innovations that enrich people's lives to help them learn, create, work, play, share, and stay healthy. Through the deep integration of hardware, software, and services, these products empower people to do incredible things every day.
I think overall they did a pretty good job. Neither were 100% correct, but they were pretty close. In total, Langogo missed 5 words, whereas Google only missed 2. Okay, now let's try a Chinese speech. Here's a clip of Oppo Vice Chairman Liu Bo speaking at a recent product launch.
其实 OPPO 的 IoT 起步很早，早在6年前我们就推出过手环，但是我们发现它的功能非常有限，也不能给用户带来更多的服务，设备之间也几乎没有互动，这不是我们想要的 IoT。但是随着软件、硬件、服务的不断发展，终端设备性能的不断提升，产品的互通、互联、互融成为可能。只有在这样的背景下，才有可能为用户带来颠覆性的体验。
So Langogo did a very good job. In total, it only missed 2 words. Now, if you're wondering where Google Translate was during that clip, well, for this kind of long-form transcription, Google only offers 9 languages, and Chinese isn't one of them. Comparatively, Langogo offers long-form transcription and translation for all of its supported languages. Okay, so Langogo Summit Pro is Langogo's first translator to have a built-in camera. So let's see how Langogo's image translation compares to Google Translate's. So first up is Google Translate. It's very fast and accurate. Langogo, on the other hand, well, I think it's safe to say that Google's image translation just blows Langogo out of the water. It's much faster and much more accurate. Okay, so after these tests, I think it's safe to say that most people shouldn't spend $400 on a translation device. And for most cases like traveling in a different country or short conversations, Google Translate is more than enough. Now, is there still a reason to go for Langogo? Maybe. If you need a language that's not supported by Google Translate, or if you want longer transcriptions and translations, or if you just want better cloud storage options, then maybe you should go for Langogo. But there's no reason for you to spend $400. Langogo has a much cheaper translator called Langogo Minutes, and while it doesn't have a camera, it has a lot of the translation and transcription features of the Summit Pro and goes for a much cheaper price of $109. So that's our comparison of the Langogo Summit Pro and Google Translate. If you like this video, I recommend you check out some of our other videos on translators. We did one a couple years ago comparing Langogo's Genesis to a human translator, and we also did a challenge where we asked our friend to spend 24 hours in a foreign country using just Langogo Translator. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more from GI Gadgets. See you next time.